Kiely wasn't breathing when she was put in the water. Nothing's going to change my mind. Crime reactions. Disclaimer. Everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. Kiely Rodni. You guys know she was my first case. She is what brought me into making videos here on YouTube. Now, Ryan Upchurch caused a huge uproar in the Kiely Rodni case. He didn't help at all. There's literally nothing that Ryan Upchurch did in all of his stupidity and his dumpster fire boo-boo bullshit that accomplished a damn thing when it came to the Kiely Rodni case. There's still no answers to anything. Which some people can look at that and say, well, don't you think it's kind of sketchy that this celebrity that a lot of people know offered these kids a Hellcat and $100,000 and nobody came forward? Maybe in a normal society I would, yes, but these are a bunch of rich punks that probably have more money than Ryan Upchurch. So his car and his $100,000 was literally like a weekly allowance to these kinds of kids. Not to say that his heart wasn't in the right place. I feel like his heart maybe was in the right place until it became full of just like drama and trying to go after Icked and making a big deal out of the Ronnie stuff. I know that there was a lot of stuff with the Ronnie stuff that's really stupidly sketchy, okay? And a lot of that should have really been looked into by the police, and it probably wasn't. But when it comes to the fights and the drama and the chaos that Ryan Upchurch caused, there's no excuses for it. And people can stand by him all they want to. Those really aren't the kind of people that I want in my circle, because if they're going to condone that type of immature bullshit behavior, that tells me a lot about the kind of things they condone in real life. Now, most of you guys know there's been a lawsuit. Now, while I don't really agree too much with the lawsuit, I mean, I understand why they're suing Ryan Upchurch, but they should be more worried about getting the truth out about like what actually happened to their kid instead of doing all of this. I don't know what the issue is with why this is their focus. I don't know. But I know that it's the grandfather's name on this lawsuit at this point, and it's supposed to be Kiely's biological father, which honestly, I don't feel like he deserves anything either, because the song that she wrote is pretty much about how his relationship with her is shit. So as much as I don't like the fact that maybe her dad was harassed and a lot of the things that they talked about isn't fair to them, he also was like not a good dad. From what we're understanding, he wasn't around very much. I understand it hurts he lost his child, but he doesn't get to sit here and make money off of her death if he wasn't around in her life. At least that's my opinion as a mother and a daughter. Now, Grandpa, on the other hand, was like Kiely's best friend. And Grandpa is the one who Steve Fisher still keeps in contact with. And Steve Fisher, as you guys might know him as SF Investigates, is the one that posted this update on Twitter kind of late yesterday. At least that's whenever I saw it. So I added it to my bookmarks. And here we are going to discuss this motion to deny Ryan Upchurch's request to dismiss the lawsuit. You know, the one that he said was fake. Then it turned out it wasn't. 4 weeks ago, 3.5, 4 weeks ago, I had one of his weirdos comment on the last video that I did about this lawsuit claiming that it was fake. Like, honey bunny, we don't went through how many documents? It's definitely not fake. He's even come out and admitted that it's not fake, and then try to make some fake ass story about how there was one that was fake, and then this the one that is actually like real, trying to like cover up his lies. I mean, it makes a Kool-Aid story make sense, honestly. So we're going to go through this 10-page document where this judge says, no, boy, we're not going to dismiss these charges because you suck. And then he gives a bunch of examples as to why Ryan sucks. As you can see, Middle District, Tennessee, Nashville Division, there's the case number 323-CV-00770. David Robertson versus Ryan Upchurch. Memorandum. Pending before the court is defendant Ryan Upchurch's motion to dismiss plaintiff's amended complaint. Plaintiffs David Robertson and Daniel Rodni filed a response in opposition, and Upchurch filed a reply. For the reasons discussed below, the motion will be denied. And again, this is not written by a lawyer on either side. This is stuff put together by the judge. The same way in the Idaho case, we read documents that are put together by the judge when it comes to his decisions on things. Factual background. Plaintiffs allege that Upchurch is a media personality who has approximately 3,140,000 subscribers on YouTube. Plaintiffs also allege that Kiely Rodni, the granddaughter of plaintiff David Robertson and the daughter of plaintiff Daniel Rodni, disappeared after a party near Tahoe National Forest on August 6, 2022. Still no proof of a party. That part is true. We've yet to see a damn anything. Plaintiffs state on August 13th, 2022, after Kiely Rodni's disappearance, Upchurch began making social media posts about her disappearance and offered theories of what happened to Kiely Rodni, including that other YouTube personalities were involved in or responsible for Kiely Rodni's disappearance. Kiely Rodni's body was discovered August 21st, 2022. That same day, authorities confirmed that the body was more than likely Kiely Rodni, and that an autopsy had been ordered to confirm the identity. And that's when the people really went crazy, honestly. On that same date, Upchurch learned that Kiely Rodni's body had been discovered and purported to offer a prayer for Kiely Rodni and her family. I watched that live. I watched that. I was watching Zav Girl live, and Ryan Upchurch was on there like he always was, running his mouth and being crazy when it broke that she was found. I watched them live react to the news. Yep, I was there. On that date, Upchurch posted that nobody should really be doing anything about this now. There really shouldn't be anything put anywhere that's going to make her mom even more devastated than she's already going to be. I don't even want to get into Lindsay. We're just not going to get into Lindsay because notice that she's not even listed in this, nor her husband. It's bio dad and bio mom's dad. Plaintiffs allege that Upchurch accepted on August 21st of 2022 that Kiely Rodni was real, that she died, and that further online posting relating to her could traumatize her family. Right, and the whole reason why they're saying that he recognized that Kiely Rodni was real is because he went around like a freak for who knows how long, claiming that she was completely fake. She wasn't a real girl that really lived, that the photos of her in music class as a little girl and basically like the videos of her playing guitar and singing are fake. That she doesn't exist. That's what he was trying to say. On August 22nd of 2022, Upchurch posted a video in which he appeared to express his condolences to Kiely Rodni's family. You Boo Faces misspelled her freaking name. On August 23rd, 2022, authorities confirmed the identity of Kiely Rodni's body. On August 28th of 2022, Upchurch posted a video in which he accused the sheriff's office that identified Kiely Rodni of being a fake police department and stated that Kiely Rodni's disappearance was fake and that the police were involved in faking her existence and death. Like, I understand cover-ups, Mr. Upchurch, but to fake someone's existence to begin with doesn't make sense. You cover up someone's death. You cover up crimes. You don't create somebody that's fake and then fake kill the fake person. What the hell kind of logic does that even make? Y'all know that he's about to be a daddy, right? Like, I'm honestly not trying to be like a freaking smartass or anything right now. I'm concerned. And anybody who's a parent that actually gives a shit about their kids should be totally concerned as well, because how is that going to raise a child? He is a child. A very stupidly immature, dumb one at that. On August 29th of 22, Upchurch posted a video that Kiely Rodni and her family were not real and that her death was a scam to raise money on GoFundMe. I know there was some stuff with the GoFundMes too, but I'm just going to say this now. For all of the churchers or the creekers or any of you guys that are over here trying to just watch this video because y'all know that I don't like Ryan and I'm going to run my mouth. A lot of you people, okay, thought that he was going to do this and go through with this because this was going to bring out the truth. If this goes to court for this, it doesn't matter that they're trying to sue Ryan. This is going to bring out the truth about Kiely. That's why he's doing it. That's why he's going to go through with it. That's why this is going to work. Okay, but then your hero tried to dismiss the case. So how much truth is he really trying to dig up here? On September 1st of 2022, Upchurch posted a phone number and address for Daniel Rodni. Doxing is illegal, sweetheart. Plaintiffs allege that as a result of this video and the ensuing negative attention he received, Daniel Rodni went into hiding and made substantial investments in home security, surveillance, and cameras. Oh, like we had to. On September 3rd of 2022, Upchurch posted a video stating that Kiely Rodni is not Kiely Rodni. Kiely Rodni is Callie Ross. Callie Ross's dad is fake Kiely Rodni's grandpa. Yeah, we went through all that. And honestly, I don't understand why Callie Ross isn't suing him. Like, I'm not the type of person to reach out to people, but I would really love to know why she's not suing, why the family of Callie Ross is not suing Ryan along with this lawsuit. He deserves it. He went and found photos of this girl who was at a party in a different location that exact same night, that was in a photo with a girl that looked very similar to Kiely, but it definitely wasn't. You could tell it wasn't. She was just another thin framed, long blonde haired girl from Cali. Not to say that Kiely is a dime a dozen, but being thin framed white girl with long blonde hair and blue eyes in California is pretty normal. But he went ham, like exposing this Callie Ross chick, and I just don't understand why she's not suing. On that same date, Upchurch posted a video stating, "I would not say this unless I was 100% confident." Yeah, drugs will make you think a lot of things are true, honey. Kiely Rodni is not real. Her grandfather is not real. Her dad is not real. Her mom is not real. All the pictures and videos you're seeing of this Kiely Rodni person are actual pictures and videos from someone named Callie that are 5 to 7 years old. This is about to be a daddy. October 13th of 2022, news outlets reported the results of the coroner's final report of investigation into Kiely Rodni's death, which concluded that the manner of death was an accident and the cause of death was drowning. Lies. Her lungs had no water in them. Even after being in the water for apparently almost 2 weeks? No water in the lungs? Even if she would have been found right away with no water in the lungs, it would have been the same conclusion. This doesn't make any sense though, because even though she'd been sitting in there, the water would have absorbed into her body, and she should have technically had water in her lungs just from the amount of time that she was in the water. But she apparently didn't, which is even worse, which just gives lead to a lot of other conspiracies, because technically, yeah, as long as she was submerged, she should have had water in her lungs, and she didn't. On December 22nd of 22, Upchurch posted a video stating, "Let's be honest with ourselves at this point in this video. There is nothing to lead me to believe that this person is real, the Kiely Rodni person. There is nothing that shows me she's real yet." But there was. In response to a comment to this video, Upchurch commented, "I'm making an insane amount of money. I'm a good guy, and I'm effing rich," is what he actually said. It's just, where they put oh, there's a cuss word. We can't show the cuss word. "Fighting evil, that is rich, because that's what I do." No, you write a bunch of stupid songs that get a bunch of people fighting. You start fake fights with other artists in order to get attention whenever a song is about to drop, because unless you're starting drama, no one's looking at you. After this lawsuit was filed, Upchurch posted a message on YouTube stating, "I'm not at all sorry for anything I've ever said on the internet. At all. Whatsoever. And never will be. Period. That's all I blank wanted to say." You're such a douchebag. Plaintiffs bring claims against Upchurch for defamation, defamation per se, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligent infliction of emotional distress, and false light invasion of privacy, which is doxing. Plaintiffs allege that they have both received therapy for psychological injuries attributable to Upchurch's social media post. That's the part that I'm really curious about. Obviously, they're going to have to show receipts, right? But I don't know if what's going on social media would be the reason for them to need therapy. I feel like Kiely's death would be a reason, but maybe both. I don't know. It's not me. On October 10th, Upchurch filed the pending motion to dismiss under Fed R Civ P12B6 for failure to state a claim upon which relief may be granted. What in the shit does that actually mean? Okay, so I just searched it, and it states that it's a pre-trial motion that deals with motions to dismiss for failure to state a claim upon which relief can be granted. On a motion to dismiss, the court must accept as true all of the factual allegations in the complaint and draw all reasonable inference in favor of the plaintiff. The purpose of a motion to dismiss under Rule 12b-6 is to test the legal sufficiency of the complaint. If documents outside of the pleadings are placed before the district court and not excluded, the court must convert the defendant's 12b-6 motion to one for summary judgment. So basically, this type of dismissal seems to have been filed on purpose by Ryan's team, technically a smart move, to test the legal sufficiency of the complaint. So because this motion to dismiss was filed, the judge then had to go in here and specifically state the things that they are claiming have legal stance for this lawsuit to be legit and have standards in order for there to show rules that were broken and legal standing for how this can actually be a winning lawsuit. Meaning this dismissal proves that this lawsuit is legit and has proof to stand on. So there's that. Okay, and it looks like this legal standard starts going into what we just searched. Let's just go ahead and read it again so that we can make sure that we're understanding it correctly. Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12b6 permits dismissal of a complaint for failure to state a claim upon which relief can be granted. For purposes of a motion to dismiss, a court must take all of the factual allegations in the complaint as true. To survive a motion to dismiss, survive, that's a strong word, a complaint must contain sufficient factual allegations. Sufficient factual allegations. Keywords there. Accepted as true to state a claim for relief that is plausible on its face. A claim has facial plausibility when the plaintiff pleads facts that allow the court to draw the reasonable inference that the defendant is liable for the misconduct alleged. This being dismissed proves Ryan accountable, liable, all the ables. Okay. In reviewing a motion to dismiss, the court construes the complaint in the light most favorable to the plaintiff, accepts its allegations as true, and draws all reasonable inferences in favor of the plaintiff. Thus, dismissal is appropriate only if it appears beyond doubt that the plaintiff can prove no set of facts in support of his claim which would entitle him to relief. Choice of law. Upchurch contends that Tennessee law should govern this action because it has a more significant relationship than California. In support of his argument, Upchurch asserts that Tennessee law does not recognize defamation per se and has a statutory cap on damages recoverable in civil actions. In response, plaintiffs argue that California law should apply because it has the most significant relationship to its action. Plaintiffs also argue that there is no permissible inquiry as to whether applying one state law over another's results in a more favorable outcome to either party. Okay, yeah, because the Rodneys live in Cali and Upchurch lives in Tennessee, or I don't know, he moves a lot. He was in Tennessee whenever this got filed. I don't know where the hell he's at. Honestly, I don't care. But Tennessee v. California. From what I sort of understand, and this could be wrong, but what I remember reading before is that a lot of Tennessee's laws were like adopted from California policy law. Like they adopted a lot of their same rules. I could be wrong again, but for some reason that's like sticking out to me for this case. When determining choice of law questions, Tennessee follows the most significant relationship approach, which applies the law of the state where the injury occurred unless some other state has more significant relationship to the litigation. Generally, the law of the state where the injury occurred will have the most significant relationship to the litigation. I mean, I understand that, but if they lived in California, but he was living in Tennessee whenever he was performing said acts, I don't know, let's just see what they do. Here, plaintiffs are domiciled in California, were injured in California, received treatment for their injuries in California, and Upchurch's social media posts were published in California. They were published worldwide. That's a strange saying. We're published in California. So does that mean that he like had his location set for California whenever he would post them? I'm going to need some clarification on that one. Accordingly, the court finds that California law should govern this action. First Amendment, actual malice versus negligence. It appears both parties agree that plaintiffs are private figures and that the standard under California law for a private figure to succeed on a defamation claim is negligence rather than actual malice. Private individuals are more vulnerable to injury, and the state interest in protecting them is correspondingly greater. California permits defamation liability if it is consistent with the requirements of the United States Constitution, Brown versus Kelly Broad. We see no reason to deny California citizens protection for their reputations equal to that provided in other states. We decline to diverge from near unanimous authority that a private person need prove only negligence rather than malice to recover for defamation. Accordingly, the negligence standard applies to plaintiffs' defamation claims. Opinion speech. The Supreme Court has refused to create a wholesale defamation exemption for anything that might be labeled opinion, and recognized that expressions of opinion may often imply an assertion of objective fact. This also just goes into a whole bunch of court speech. This is them just literally citing cases, and it says stuff about amendment protection for opinion speech, holding that we are not persuaded that an additional separate constitution privilege for opinion is required to ensure the freedom of expression guaranteed by the First Amendment. And then they have another section that states, instead, the analysis under the First Amendment is not simply the characterization of statements as fact or opinion, but whether the statements reasonably imply false and defamatory facts. Yeah, like her being fake. Like an entire police department literally creating a fake person just to kill them off to the public. That is just the strangest crap ever. The case is already creepy and weird enough. I don't understand why it had to go like super stupid. It was unnecessary. And again, this is just more of them like citing stuff from these laws. The Sixth Circuit considers the following 4 factors when determining whether a statement can carry a defamatory meaning. 1. The common usage or meaning of the allegedly defamatory words themselves, whether they are commonly understood to be loose, figurative, or hyperbolic words. The degree to which the statements are verifiable, whether the statement is objectively capable of proof or disproof. The immediate context in which the statement occurs. And 4, the broader social context into which the statement fits. And again, it goes into some case law. And it says, whether the general tenor of the entire work negates the impression that the defendant was asserting an objective fact, whether the defendant used figurative or hyperbolic language that negates the impression, whether the statement in question is susceptible of being proved true or false. Then it states further, the Ninth District has recognized that the context of a statement may control whether words were understood in a defamatory sense, and that the broad context includes the general tenor of the entire work, the subject of the statements, the setting, and the format of the work. And then there's a footnote, and it says, similarly, the Ninth District recognizes that the threshold question in every defamatory suit is whether a reasonable fact finder could conclude that the contested statement implies an assertion of objective fact. Upchurch argues that his statements are opinions and protected by the First Amendment. Upchurch contends that the specific language and the context demonstrate that the statements were opinions. Upchurch also alleges that he made the statements without personal knowledge and formed his opinions based on reports, statements, photographs, interviews, and information that he disclosed to his audience. Upchurch argues that viewers are certainly not led to think that Mr. Upchurch is presenting objective assertion of facts rather than his opinion on facts that they have an equal opportunity to analyze. Okay, but we know that his little creakers are not going to go analyze anything, don't we? See, that's the whole problem here. Ryan wants to be like, oh, well, they're just going to go find out themselves. You know, my people are smart enough. They're going to go look it up, bro. They're going to go look it up. They're not just going to take my word for it. Yeah, they are. They do just take your word for it, and then they act stupidly accordingly because of what you say to them. What do you mean? And when it comes to like analyzing anything that Ryan put up there, I have an entire video debunking an entire video that he did. Everything, every bit of information, every building that he showed, everything he talked about was false. And I proved all of it in one video. I literally went every little subject in one of his videos and debunked every single one of them in order. He's lost his mind. Now, I don't know what he's like right now, but during the Kiely situation, he lost his ever-loving mind. And again, he's about to be a dad. And that's just really scary to me. In response, plaintiffs argue that Upchurch's statements may be proven false by objective evidence. In support of this argument, plaintiffs point to Upchurch's statement that I would not say this unless I was 100% confident. Kiely Rodni is not real. Her grandfather is not real. Her dad is not real. Her mom is not real. All the pictures and videos you're seeing of this Kiely Rodni person are actually pictures and videos from someone else named Callie that are 5 to 7 years old. And I'm about to post the proof to show you guys. Now, that was posted by Ryan Upchurch, and that's, I guess, why Kylie's name is misspelled right there, because Upchurch misspelled her name. Plaintiffs contend that Upchurch made a false factual assertion that plaintiffs are not real people and failed to use qualifying or cautionary language. Plaintiffs further point out that, in addition to accusing plaintiffs of not being who they claim to be, Upchurch asserted that plaintiffs were relatives of a woman named Callie Ross, that Kiely Rodni was fake, and that the investigating police department was a fake police department. Plaintiffs also contend that Upchurch represented that Kiely Rodni's death was a scam to make money via the related GoFundMe website set up for her family. Now, again, I know that the GoFundMe's, I guess where the money was supposed to go or how the money was supposed to be used was like switched up and stuff like that. I understand that. But these families also will make these GoFundMe's in the middle of real situations to still try to get money from people, because they know it works. Just because there's a GoFundMe doesn't mean the situation at the base is fake. No. Taking the allegations in the first admitted complaint as true, the court finds that Upchurch's statements were expressed in terms of absolute certainty and are objectively capable of being proven false. The context surrounding the statements also demonstrates that the statements were not merely opinions, as Upchurch contends, because Upchurch had previously stated that Kiely Rodni was real, that she had died, and that further online posting related to Kiely Rodni could traumatize her family. That he did. Accordingly, the court finds that, taking the allegations in the first amended complaint as true, Upchurch's statements are sufficient to state a claim for defamation. And there is another footnote, so let's just go down there really quick. The court finds that under both Sixth Circuit and Ninth Circuit law, Upchurch's statements, as alleged in the First Amendment complaint, are sufficient to state a claim upon which relief may be granted. The lawsuit is legit. So all the creakers can creak off, literally. How about you be upset about your leader lying to you? You're not mad at a boss man? You're not mad at a big homie creaker for being nothing but a liar? You're not asking him, why'd you lie to us about the lawsuit? Why'd y'all tell us it was fake whenever it was really real? Why are you trying to save your own ass instead of just coming forward and telling us all the truth? Why are all 3 million of you just taking it? Why are all 3 million of you just kissing his stupid little ass instead of telling him about himself? I swear, this mob mentality is disgusting. Whether the statements are of or concerning plaintiffs. Upchurch also argues that the majority of the alleged defamatory statements aren't of and concerning the plaintiffs. That's not true, because he literally said the entire family was fake. The grandpa, the dad, the mom, the stepdad, Kiely herself, he literally said the entire family was fake. Upchurch contends that the GoFundMe scam comments are not targeted at plaintiffs, but it was created for them. What do you mean? In response, plaintiffs argue that Upchurch's GoFundMe comments refer to the plaintiffs by implication. Specifically, plaintiffs state that the complaint alleges that the GoFundMe was titled Support for the Family of Kiely Rodni, and that plaintiffs are members of Kiely Rodni's family. Yeah, that's what I just said. The First Amendment requires that statements upon a defamation claim is based must specifically refer to or be of and concerning the plaintiff in some way. However, under California law, defamatory statements directed towards a discrete group of people are sufficient to state a claim for defamation where the group is sufficiently small, like a family of 4 to 5 people be insufficiently small? The California Court of Appeals has recognized that a family constitutes a sufficiently small group. Okay, see. The court agrees with plaintiffs that Upchurch's comments regarding the GoFundMe, which was established for Kiely Rodni's family, concern plaintiffs as members of her family. Accordingly, taking the allegations in the first amended complaint is true, the court finds the plaintiffs have pled facts sufficient to state a claim for defamation. Defamation per se. Plaintiffs bring a claim against Upchurch for defamation per se in violation of California Civil Code 46. Slander is a false and unprivileged publication, orally uttered, and also communications by radio or any mechanical or other means which charges any person with crime or with having been indicted, convicted, or punished for crime. We're sort of seeing that right now, actually. How many of you guys watch Baby Reindeer? If you did, let me know in the comments. I've thought about doing a video on Baby Reindeer, but not here, over on my other channel, this one right here, Logical Oddity, because that's wild. I watched the entire series in one sitting, and I was just like, the last episode especially, the last 2 episodes are mind-blowing. But I didn't really realize at the time that the guy playing in Baby Reindeer is the guy that the story is actually about. Like, he's literally playing in his own movie, which is a little strange. But there's crazy stuff coming out about the woman in Baby Reindeer, and now she's claiming that, like, yeah, she knew him. She even admits to, like, have been in love with him at some point, and now she's saying, I was never put in jail for stalking him. All the stuff he's claiming isn't true. I didn't send him all these emails, blah, 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 blah. And there's, like, lawsuits happening now. There's lawsuits happening because he made an entire movie. He literally has based his entire, like, last decade of life, almost, if not a little longer, around his interactions with this woman. And this woman is coming out and being like, no, bro. Now, she's obviously a little bit off her rocker. If you guys haven't watched the Piers Morgan interview and you have watched Baby Reindeer and you're interested in the true story, because it is a true story, I do want to talk about it. So let me know if you guys have seen it down in the comments. Watch for it on my other channel, because we'll probably talk about it soon. Plaintiffs allege that Upchurch's statements accusing them of participating in a GoFundMe scam falsely accuse them of committing acts of moral turpitude, including fraud. Upchurch argues that plaintiff's defamation per se claim should be dismissed because the allegations in the first amended complaint do not support that he accused plaintiffs of crimes of moral turpitude, but he literally accused them of all kinds of crazy shit literally every single day. Like, we ask questions, and yeah, I think there's a certain group of people that know exactly what happened to Kiely, but the way that he went around about this, like, didn't even make any sense, because it was literally almost as if Ryan was targeting the parts of Kylie's family that weren't, like, even really involved in her family. Not saying the grandpa, because grandpa, again, was like Kylie's bestie. Okay, like, legit, they were besties. But dad that was never around because dad wasn't a dad. Dad was everywhere else, making Kiely feel like she wasn't important, according to everything that we've seen anyway. I could be wrong on that. But as a daughter, I understood her song perfectly. So, I don't know. But I just don't understand why a lot of what Ryan was saying was going towards, like, other people. But then he would be like, oh, we don't need to put her mom through any more grief, whenever Lindsay's really, like, the one that we have the most questions for. But then again, Ryan did, like, get really quiet whenever he was offered the theme song gig from Adventures with Purpose, but we're just going to leave that alone for now. Upchurch again argues that the statements related to the GoFundMe are not of and concerning plaintiffs, and that plaintiffs do not set out any instances of Upchurch alleging that plaintiffs themselves were involved in any scam or fraud. Yeah, but he did, though, so of course he's going to lie about it. Here, plaintiffs allege that Upchurch made a social media post that the only crime that is going on is the scam to get GoFundMe money. Well, that's pretty freaking specific, isn't it, Mr. Upchurch? Plaintiffs also contend that Upchurch suggested the Kiely Rodni case was a scam to raise money through GoFundMe and stated, do you realize that you can be a millionaire on GoFundMe by catfishing people with internet deaths? Look at the Kiely Rodni GoFundMe. It's made $63,000 in the past 7 days. That's one GoFundMe for Kiely Rodni. It's free money that gets the heat off of you because everyone's looking for a person that you made up. Because why? Because you pushed a car into the lake? Does that even make any logical sense? You pushed a car with no person into the lake, so now you have to make up a person that might have actually been in that car that wasn't in that car because you just pushed a car into the lake, and now you're going to make up a fake GoFundMe because the car is really the only thing that's gone and there really was no person whatsoever. Are we for real? Like, that's what he was trying to say? Ugh. The court finds that, taking the allegations in the first admitted complaint as true, plaintiffs have stated facts sufficient to state a claim for defamation per se under California law. C. This is the doxing part. False light invasion of privacy, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and negligent infliction of emotional distress. Upchurch largely argues for dismissal of plaintiffs' claims for false light invasion of privacy, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and negligent infliction of emotional distress on the same basis as his argument for dismissing the defamation claims. Upchurch also attacks these claims as redundant. Why are they redundant, Upchurch? You literally doxed someone's information. They had to go into hiding because you literally doxed their address and phone number. How is that redundant whenever it's literally a federal crime? In response, plaintiffs contend that California law permits false light invasion of privacy claims to be brought in tandem with defamation claims, even though the false light claim could be superfluous, and such claims, does that say clams? And such claims will proceed in lockstep with each other. Accepting the allegations in the first admitted complaint as true, the court finds that plaintiffs have pled facts sufficient to state a claim upon which relief may be granted. Accordingly, Upchurch's motion to dismiss plaintiffs' claims for false light invasion of privacy, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and negligent infliction of emotional distress is denied. Look at that. For the reasons stated above, Upchurch's motion to dismiss will be denied. And before anyone says, oh, they're paying off somebody, this isn't a California judge. This is a Tennessee judge. Nobody's paying anybody off unless Ryan is paying him off to not get his way. Well, I was glad that there was an update on that situation. Now, when it comes to the accident report for Kiely's Honda, according to Steve Fisher, CHP is still like stupidly behind. And it's also like the MAT team, I think it's MAIT, something like that. It's like an accident, reconstruction type situation, I think is what's happening here. I don't know what's going on and why it's taking so long, but there's still apparently like a couple of reports in front of Kiely's report. But I don't know if that means that they've like done all of the reconstruction and they have all of the like everything that they need and now they're just needing to like put it all into a summarized report, or if that means they still haven't done a damn thing. I don't know, because it's literally been forever, and it's not just like it's Kiely's case that's like being delayed. There's several cases that are taking this long, people that are wanting answers, families that are trying to figure out what actually happened with these accidents in these vehicles. CHP is just taking their sweet ass time. It's pretty stupid, but Steve Fisher really does call and check on that situation quite a bit, and he updates us about it on Twitter as soon as he gets off the phone, basically. So that's where I've been getting a lot of my updates when it comes to all of that stuff. Steve is really, really good at keeping all of that updated. So, and he's in contact with Kiely's grandfather. They've got a pretty good rapport going, and me and Steve have had conversations about Kiely's case. We might not agree on it, but we respect each other's opinions, and we can have conversations just fine. And yeah, he understands a lot of my questions and I understand a lot of the things that he says, but I will never, ever, 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 ever believe that Kiely Rodni was breathing whenever she went into the water. No. But that's it, you guys. I wanted to go ahead and get this update out here because Kiely Rodni is this channel's case. Kiely Rodni's situation is what birthed this channel, what got me out here talking, because I couldn't just sit back and allow all the lies without putting my opinion out there. She reminds me too much of my daughter. It's just too much. It's just too much happening here. And the silence and everything else that's going on is already insane enough. So like I said, all of the people out there that follow Ryan that were like, oh, this is going to get answers. He's going to push this and he's going to get them to submit documentation and proof of all these things. No, he didn't. He tried to get them to dismiss it because he didn't want to be proven to be an asshole. Your savior is not that. I really hope that you guys like grow up a little bit and find somebody else to look up to because he ain't the one. But that is it, you guys. If you like the way that I present this information and give my opinion, please do not forget to leave a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. See y'all.